don't know if the kids know what that means, but that used to be from our generation. Good cop, bad cop. Somebody's got to play the good cop. Somebody's got to play the bad cop. Okay? And you know what? I did my time, but I needed somebody to step up and pick up where I couldn't. Okay? And I just can't get upset with the kids. I just can't. I like throwing suckers and yelling one team, one heartbeat, and I like giving them high fives in the morning and when they leave. And you know, maybe that's because I've reached that time in my life that my children are grown and I have a grandbaby, and it's just too difficult for me. All right, but it still needs done. You still need discipline to run through your school. Without discipline, nothing can succeed. No family, no business, no church, no school. You have to have discipline. And we love these little kids, but there has to be good cop, bad cop. The man that has stepped up and accepted that role 24/7, and he loves your kids. He loves your kids. I see it every day. But I'll tell you what, sometimes when he starts getting on a roll, I get up and walk out. He scares me, okay? But I love this young man. I think he's the future of Heritage, okay? And he needs to make a presentation, but he needs to be brought out front a little bit more. Mr. Fickus.
As you all know, Mr. Strino gets on a roll. He forgot to have 8th graders. Go ahead and have a seat, guys. Just as I read down through the program, our enrollment here at Heritage this year is it's close to 500 students. And in the program, I counted there's about 112 of our 6th, 7th, and 8th graders who are being acknowledged for a 3.5 or higher. I think that speaks volumes. 1 out of every 5 kids walking our halls are making the right choices, not only academically, behaviorally, socially. The brutal reality of tonight is I don't have a ton of contact with these kids. My contact is seeing them in the hallway, congratulating them when they do things well, bringing them in my office to play putt-putt or get a sucker or whatever it may be. It's you kids that I can't thank enough. You guys come here every day with the right attitude. You've obviously had the right upbringing. You have a great foundation. And when you go home tonight, if you haven't done this already today, you need to thank the person or people who have given you that foundation. It doesn't matter how old you get. If it's 12, 13, 14, 35, 82. You need to tell the people that you love and the people that have provided your background and your values, tell them thank you. And we say it every day on announcements. Tell somebody you care about them, you appreciate them, or you love them. I hope that carries over. And with this group of 100 people in here, 100 students in here, I have a pretty good feeling that the vast majority of you guys and girls do that. So I just want to thank the students and thank the parents. It's an extremely rewarding job for me on nights like this where we get to celebrate success. And ultimately that's what we want for our children, and that's why we're here tonight, is to celebrate their successes academically. And as we all know, there's a correlation between your academic success generally and your behavior and the role you play in the community. And along with that comes responsibility, a tremendous amount of responsibility. If anybody was at the National Junior Honor Society intaking yesterday, whether we like it or not, whether you like it or not as students, you guys are responsible to represent not only yourself, but your school and your community and everything that you do. And it's not a responsibility that's going to hold you down or way you bag. It's going to be something, a responsibility that you're proud of, that you want to be a part of. And the challenge is, Will, get your head up, please. Thank you. And the challenge of that responsibility is sustaining it. It's really, it's not easy to do it in middle school, but the older you get, the harder it is. The ultimate goal for you as you head toward high school is, number one, is everybody wants to graduate. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I don't want to graduate high school. But statistically speaking, we're having 7 out of every 10 kids graduate. That's not going to be anybody in here. But how can you, as a student, influence the buddy sitting next to you? How can you influence somebody else in your community, in your class? Or maybe when you're a senior, maybe it's a junior or a freshman or a sophomore, maybe it's a freshman. How can you influence them in a positive way? Kids have the most impact on other kids. It's not necessarily the adults. It's the people that you're with most of the time. So it is your responsibility, whether we like it or not. And I'm surrounded tonight with a ton of great decision makers. And that makes me proud to be here. So thank you very much. Before I get done, I do have one last award. I would like to recognize 2 students, and these are 2 8th grade students. It is called the Archie Griffin Memorial Sportsmanship Award. This is an award that the dinner will actually take place on the night of our 8th grade graduation. It's 1 female and 1 male student who basically have all of the characteristics, academics and athletics. For those of you that don't know who Archie Griffin is, the 2-time winning Heisman Trophy winner from Ohio State. Every middle school that's represented in the Ohio Capital Conference, which is the OCC, every middle school represents or sends 1 nominee for a male and a female. Okay? I'm not sure how many middle schools there are in the OCC, a lot, but there are approximately 32 high schools, probably 2 or 3 middle schools apiece. So we're talking about 100 of the most outstanding athletes and academic performers in their middle school. And I would like to recognize those 2 students tonight. Unfortunately, 1 is not with us. She'll be being recognized at our 8th grade graduation. Our 8th grade female winner was Tasia Wright, and she's not with us tonight. And our 8th grade boy that best represents and was the winner of the Archie Griffin Memorial Scholarship is Jed Quackenbush. If you would please stand. Thank you. So that is my challenge to you guys and girls. Whether you're going to the high school or you're going to be a 7th or 8th grader next year, continue your academic success, but try to impact somebody else in a positive way. Thank you very much, and good night.
That's my man, Mr. Fickens. Closing remarks. Closing remarks. We tell you it's a 1 team, 1 heartbeat school. It's a 1 team, 1 heartbeat school. And here's what I want you to know. 6 years ago when I walked in a building, it was a 1927, 1928 building. It was falling in. It was an August day. It was dirty. It was hot. It was no air conditioning. The plaster was falling from the ceilings. And I walked in. There was one person in there. Okay, me and my wife walked in because she told me, take this job, Tommy, take this job. The ride home was a little bit different, okay? Believe me, all right? But when I walked in, there was only one person in there. Nice lady. Her nose was pressed against the book, and she was just busy. And after I walked around and I took a big deep breath, I met her. Her name was Caroline Starr. Caroline Starr, she practically ran the school for I don't know how many years. And my wife looked at her, because I looked at my wife, and then my wife looked at Caroline and says, Caroline, please take care of him. Please, 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 okay? Wouldn't have made it without Caroline. Wouldn't have made it without her. And the funny thing is tonight, her and I were sitting in an office, and we watched Jen Baker walk by, the person that took her place, and we watched Brent Fickus walk by, and Caroline and I got a chuckle. We said, well, there's the future of Heritage. Two young people, both in their mid-30s, both loving the school and loving the kids, and we would not be able to take it forward. We would not be able to take this school to the next level without Brent Fickus, and I'd like Jen Baker. Stand up, Jen. Stand up. Thank you. That's the future. So you get to see the past and you get to see the future. What I want to tell you before you leave tonight, out back, we're not done. We're not done, we'll never be done. Out back, okay, we're putting in a quarter-mile walking trail. Now, you've got to come see this, guys. You've got to come, adults. It's for you. This is your school, your community. Okay, and I swore that we would turn the school back over to you. We have a shelter out there. It's a beautiful shelter with nice big wooden picnic tables. We have a fire pit off of that shelter that you can roast your hot dogs and marshmallows. And where we have a bulldozer sitting right out back now with a quarter-mile track already dug out. Not laid yet, but it will be laid here as soon as the kids are dismissed, the gravel and all that stuff, and it'll be asphalted, and I want you to come, and I want you to come in the evenings and bring your water bottles, and I want you to walk on that quarter-mile track. And inside that track, we're going to make a football field and a soccer field, because I already got promise from Coach German and Coach Quackenbush. One's going to bring the goalpost in, and one's going to bring the soccer goals in. Nothing like putting it out there in public, huh, guys? So anytime, guys, you can wheel those goals in. But we're going to have a 100-yard field out there, guys. Give them guys a round of applause. We're going to build it. We're going to build it. We're going to build it. And before it's over, we're going to go in the far corner and we're going to go to a fencing company. We're going to ask them to build us a backstop. So we have a softball field, a soccer field, a football field, a walking trail, and we're putting electricity after July 1st. We're after with Dave Oldfield. Dave Oldfield is the building and grounds man. Nicest man you ever want to know. But he no longer talks to me a whole lot, okay? I come in the building, he shuts the door, and I have to knock on. Dave, I know you're in there. Come on, open the door, Dave. Get away from me, Tom. Get away from me. All right, because I'm always asking for something, always. But he's going to put electricity in the shelter. We got a pad poured out here of concrete. We got a donation from a radio station that was their portable DJ thing. We stripped it. We're going to make that our concession stand. We're going to have electricity that blows places. Guys, we're booming. We're booming. We're growing. Heritage is a great place to be. It's your school. It's your community. I want you to enjoy it. All right, children, last but not least, this is not the end. This is the beginning. It's a launching pad. And remember your character quote on Monday. Knowledge isn't enough. You have to apply the knowledge. So next year, go make us proud. Guys, thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good night. Drive safely home.